Hi guys, it's me, Trudy Lee. Welcome to my channel. I hope everybody is staying warm. You see my heaters on over here. You don't see that on very often. Today it was really cold almost all day. I think right now it's 43 degrees. So that's probably about as warm as it's been. And I know it's a lot colder in other places, but for us here in South Texas, that's really cold. Uh, we we were seeing the power lines spark last night in the wind. We could see it in the distance, like a couple of miles away. Uh, it was, I don't know what was happening, but you could see the sparks going. It's crazy. Yeah, we lose electricity out here almost every time it gets cold or we have some kind of weather. We lose electricity. Hopefully, that's not going to happen. It's not supposed to have any kind of precipitation until Thursday. So tonight it's supposed to get down to 26 degrees. Yeah, that's really cold for us. And but it's not supposed to snow until Thursday. So it looks like it's probably going to snow here on Thursday. It went from like a 70% chance to like a 97% chance. So it looks like it's going to happen. But the good news is the next day it's supposed to get up to 45 degrees. So whatever happens, it shouldn't stick around. So I can tolerate that. That I can tolerate. I don't know if y'all saw that orb. I just saw an orb go by. So earlier I was doing a meditation and getting a little information, and I ended up having to take a nap. I just couldn't keep my eyes open. I don't. I guess because I'm sick, I took some Dayquil so that I could, talk without being too nasally. But I still went to sleep. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to help you stay awake, and I fell right to sleep. So it's a little bit later in the evening that I'm doing this reading here. Every time I put on a little lipstick or makeup, I end up blowing my nose or sneezing or something, and it all comes off. So I tried, but I keep wiping it off. And I know you guys were all watching them certify the election. I watched it for a little while, and then I really couldn't stand it because, we had our hopes that maybe there's somebody's gonna hold out or something. Nothing happened. So, he has been certified. So it rolls on. Here it goes. I did get to watch Kamala Harris' speech, and she really made a beautiful speech. It was really important for her to make sure that this was a very, very peaceful transfer of power. And they really wanted to go out of their way to demonstrate this is how you do things, Republicans. You don't, cry when you lose, which I kind of wish she would have cried a little bit. But and then did you see when she was swearing in all the new senators and all, that husband of Senator Debbie Fisher, after she was sworn in, she shook hands with Kamala Harris, and Kamala turned to her husband, and the misogynist that he is, he couldn't shake her hand. How ridiculous is that? That's just how disrespectful. I wished his wife, I wish Debbie would have smacked her husband in front of everybody. Why are you disrespecting, the vice president of the United States that just swore me into office? I hope she gave him a tongue lashing when she got home. She's probably just used to his behavior. She's not going to say nothing to him about it, but she should be embarrassed the way her husband acted. And Justin Trudeau, he stepped down. He's resigning as soon as they can have an election, right? And I guess it won't be till the spring. But Canadians are having a hard time financially, just like, the United States is having a hard time. But the difference is Biden really, really helped us economically. He really did. And, Americans, I don't think they really appreciate what Biden has done. But anyway, we'll go back to that in a few minutes. I just wanted to mention that. And of course, that Trump is saying that we should annex Canada, be the 51st state. Yeah, and Greenland. Why didn't he want Mexico? We do more trade with Mexico than any other country. How come he doesn't want to annex Mexico? All right. Um, I wanted to address something that I saw a subscriber wrote on a comment, that I support China because of my merchandising business is based on China goods. So I was just wondering, what business do I have that I'm ordering from China or buying supplies from China? I have my Etsy store, and it's, it's used merchandise. It has to be something that's vintage or handmade. So I do Christmas stockings. I sold a few of those this year. And I sell a lot of Avon, a lot of vintage Avon. And I don't know, I'm not sure where Avon's made from, but I don't know, I understand what she said was we need to respect American labor and purchase as many uh, homegrown goods as we can. Yes, we should do that. But let me tell you guys, as you well know, China makes almost everything that we have here. It's like, it, for instance, let me tell you, for instance, on Amazon, the goods on Amazon, 70% of them are all from China. You know, if you go to Walmart, Target, it's all China. That's all you can buy because they're not making it anywhere else. And as a reseller, you have to buy competitively so you can sell, because we're going to Walmart and Target because we don't want to pay high prices, right? So you have to understand that. It's not all about just supporting uh, goods that are made in the United States. It's actually having affordable goods. So not everybody can afford to, go and buy the most expensive item. They have to go buy something from China because it's so much cheaper. So just understand that. But I'm not buying any, I'm not merchandising any business with Chinese goods. Now, when my husband, a few years back, when my husband had his job, I did sell sunglasses, and these sunglasses were made from China. That was a few years ago when I did that, but not doing that anymore, so I don't know what they're talking about. I know a lot of people think that China is the enemy because that's what we're taught here in the United States. Uh, and that's what they want us to think and believe, that China is the enemy. China is not our enemy. They're not. They really, really are not. They're people just like us. I know a lot of Chinese people, and they love their countries, and they love to come here, and they love to go to China, and they go back and forth. Go on YouTube and look up videos on China. China is a beautiful country. If you ever get a chance to visit there, I would tell you go visit there. It's very high tech, very high tech, and it's really beautiful. It's it's interesting. I just think y'all should do a little bit of investigation on China. It's not a bad country. Honestly, it's not. They're different than us, yes. They rule different than us, yes, but that doesn't mean they're a bad country. Okay. Uh, United States wants to keep our allegiance to the United States, right? And not to another superpower, which we shouldn't be. We should have allegiance to the United States, but that doesn't mean we need to run down other countries. Okay. All right. So somebody asked, I've got a few questions written down here. They're asking if Trump will step down before his 4 years are finished. So let me get out the dowsing rods. and let's ask some questions. Okay, so I have moved around a little bit so that you can see these a little bit better. Now, I'm not saying that this dowsing rod is yes and this dowsing rod is no. I'm saying this side is yes and this side is no. So either one of these rods will point to the side that is yes or no. Either one of them will. That's how, when I first started doing the dowsing rods and asking questions, that's how I got the answer, that they would just point to a certain side. So left is yes, right is no. And it doesn't matter which one points. They may both point to the left, they may both point to the right, or maybe one of them does. Okay? So they will point to a yes or a no. So just know that. Okay, that being said, let's get started. So, will Trump step down before his 4 years are finished? Will Trump step down before his 4 years are finished? So it's leaning towards my right. I would say that is a no, that he won't step down. No. That doesn't mean he might not get pushed out of office, but he won't step down. Let's see if he'll finish. Let's see. Will Trump finish his 4 years in office? Will Trump finish his 4 years in office? I think that's a no. So maybe he gets impeached. Well, I should have asked this question beforehand, but I'm going down the line here. I should have. It says, will Trump be inaugurated? Obviously, he will be if he's going to be in office. Well, we can say on January 20th because some people think it might be delayed. So, will Trump be inaugurated on January the 20th? Will Trump be inaugurated on January the 20th? It's leaning towards a no. It's not really that strong. It looks stronger on y'all's side, but it's leaning a little bit towards a no. There is supposed to be some bad weather at that time passing through, so who knows? We'll see. We'll see. The first thing that Trump wants to do when he gets into office is to deport a whole bunch of immigrants. That's, his number one goal. So let's see if he's going to do that. So will Trump, he says 20,000 as soon as he gets into office. So let's ask 20,000. Will Trump deport 20,000 immigrants in, let's see by the end of 2025, will Trump have deported 20,000 immigrants? Yes or no? Not getting an answer. Let me see. I don't know if these get stuck. Somebody suggested I get some different dowsing rods. These are probably the cheapest ones. And I'm probably going to order a different set because I do feel like these get stuck. This little pin here gets stuck. Oh, okay. Will Trump deport 20,000 immigrants in 2025? Honestly, truthfully. What can we tell everybody? So there's no answer. There must be something I'm saying wrong. There must be a better way to say this. All right. Will Trump start deporting immigrants as soon as he becomes president? No. So no. Okay. So it's not going to be easy for him to deport 20,000 people or deport a bunch of people. It's not as simple as he claims it to be. So he's not going to be able to do that right away. Oh, what about him being sentenced? Will Trump be sentenced Friday, January the 10th, 2024? Will Trump be sentenced? You know, I always got that Mershon was going to throw the book at him. This is saying no, that he won't be sentenced. Wow. So it's no, he won't be sentenced on January the 10th. He's asking not to be, right? I think he's going to bring it to the Supreme Court. So he's asked for him not to do that, right? That everything be stopped until he can make all his appeals. So, you know, maybe, as usual, Trump gets his way about things because money buys justice in the United States. I know people are so sick of hearing that and thinking about that. So, you know, I hate to say that. Looks like, you know, he may actually not be a convicted felon while he's in office. So, golly, every time we think something's going to work out and work against Trump, he wiggles out of it, doesn't he? And I think it was today I saw on the news that Trump at Mar-a-Lago, he honored the January 6th insurrectionists because that's his militia. Make no bones about it. That's the people that he has to go to battle for him. It's his militia. And then the day before his inauguration, January 19th, I guess that is, he's going to have a rally because he wants his militia there in case something goes awry and the inauguration doesn't go forward on January 20th. He wants to be sure he has his militia there to do battle again. Can you imagine, now that they know Trump is going to be president, how they'll behave, knowing they don't feel like that they would, you know, be jailed or get in trouble for doing all the damage, hurting people and everything. They feel like they have the freedom to do anything that they want. That's pretty scary. So let's ask if Trump is Trump having a rally on January 19th to ensure he will have his militia on hand in case the inauguration doesn't go forward? Is that why Trump is having his rally? Yes. Yes. Now you see, this one didn't really move, but this one's pointing towards the left, towards the yes. So it will point towards the answer. So yes, he's just making sure his militia is on hand in case, you know, he needs to whistle and call his dogs on whatever. So let me see. Oh, he already has announced just here recently, Trump announced that Congress is getting to work on a powerful bill that will renew all Trump's tax, you know, benefits for the wealthy. So all those low taxes that they were getting, he's gonna renew all the Trump tax cuts. That's what they are for the wealthy. And also including in this bill is tariffs on countries that we're partnering with, that we're doing business with, Mexico, Canada, China, all these. Also, he said no no taxes on tips. No taxes on tips. Now, my daughter is a hairstylist, and I'm telling you, most of her money comes from tips, almost all of it. So that means she doesn't have to pay taxes, that she can earn money and she doesn't have to pay taxes. My niece is a server. Oh, she makes really, really good money as a server, and she won't have to count her tips as earnings. But that's money they're earning. The tips are money they're earning. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I think all of us that are working should now make sure that part of our paycheck is tips. We need to do that. We need to say, we need to make tips if we're, providing good service. We need to make sure part of that is tips so that we won't have to pay all those taxes also. So that, I think it's a good idea. I'm going to start saying that, the money that I receive are just tips. Okay, so let's ask this. The plan is that Congress is going to get to work on that bill right away, right now. He's told Congress, start working on it. I want it on my desk. As soon as I get into the White House, I want to sign this bill. So will Donald Trump tariff bill pass and get to his desk by the spring of 2025? Will this tariff bill pass? No. So it's not going to pass the way he wants it. He's not going to get the tariffs. Even the people that have voted for him, even the MAGA crowd and all that, they understand that a tariff is a tax on the people. It's going to bring all the prices up here in the United States. Even, Trump knows that too. He's not stupid. He just doesn't give a crap. He doesn't care. So I don't think this bill is going to pass the way that he wants it to. Now, of course, they'll craft it somehow, some way. They'll put some of the things in, but it's not going to be the kind of tariffs that he wants. So that's good news. So Justin Trudeau, he's going through basically the same thing that Biden went through, and the people are fed up with high prices, and they think that he hasn't done enough to help their country economically and financially. So they want him out of there, and then the party their parties are different than ours, but it's like the Republican Party, right? And people are behind the MAGA, they're behind Donald Trump. The guy that's running to take his place loves Donald Trump. I didn't even look up his name. I forgot, what his name is and everything. But I know he's in step with Donald Trump for sure. But let's ask a question. And I just want y'all to know that I do say, people are saying, you don't say thank you. I'm saying thank you in my mind. I don't always say it out loud, but I'm saying thank you. And I did all, the blessings and the prayers and asking if I could do this before I even turn on my computer. Okay? All right. And I know a lot of people, they probably enjoy listening to the prayer and all that. And at one point, maybe I'll just start doing all that on camera, on video. Let's see. So, is Canada having economic hardship due to the pandemic? Is it due to the pandemic? Yes. See, all countries are going through this right now. Canada's not an exception. Biden has done an exceptional job here. and really sheltered us a lot. Even though we've had some high prices, they haven't been as bad as other countries have been affected. Canada's been greatly affected, and European countries are greatly affected. They're really going through a hard time economically, financially. But it's all because of the pandemic. It's going to change. It's going to all get better, but it takes time for everything to catch back up. The world stopped. It just stopped for a long time. And there's a lot of people that think that should have never happened. And look how many people died during the pandemic. And we were sheltering in place. We were trying to protect ourselves. Imagine if people didn't protect themselves, how many people would have lost their lives. One of the things that I hear all the time is that we need to drill, baby, drill. They keep saying that the oil companies, they're not drilling because, Biden's not letting them drill. Well, that's not true. Biden can't stop the oil companies from drilling. They're not drilling because there's plenty of oil, because Biden fixed it like that. He made sure that we had plenty of oil on hand so that the oil companies couldn't lift up the prices and do price gouging. He's controlled it by buying oil and by releasing our strategic oil reserves. He's done a great job doing that, and he's replaced them too. And people just don't understand how it works. Why would an oil company want to drill when prices are so low? It costs a lot of money to drill. They have to pay their workers, and plus their CEOs. They've got to make their billion-dollar paychecks. Uh, it doesn't work like that. If they're not going to make huge profits, they're not going to drill. That's just the way it is. And when the prices go way up, they're going to be drilling, drilling, drilling. Yeah. And that's one thing we get a lot from Canada. We get a lot of oil from Canada. I think that's the number one product that we get from them is oil. But it's getting at that time of day that I have to go do my cooking. My husband's getting a little better. I looked in his throat, and he had a little bit of white spots in his throat. And I started giving him antibiotics to helpfully counter that. And he started feeling a little bit better. He slept a lot today. That was one of the reasons I haven't been in here doing my work, is because he was asleep in here for a good part of the day, and I didn't want to disturb him. And finally he got up, and when he got up, I had to take care of him and feed him. I made him some chicken soup yesterday because he made me chicken soup, and I made him chicken soup. So tonight he said, we have some fish, sea bass. He loves sea bass. And he said, why don't you make that sea bass with some rice tonight for me? He wants this rice pilaf. And I'm like, I thought you were sick. He's feeling better. I said, I thought you couldn't taste. And he's like, I can taste. He's feeling better. He's asking for food. So I have to go cook it for him. I didn't want to. I cooked a couple of meals last night. I made some chicken and I made some soup. I made chicken soup and I made a different kind of low carb meal because I'm eating low carb right now. I started about 4 or 5 days ago back on my diet, eating low carb, because from Thanksgiving to Christmas, I've been eating and eating and eating and eating, and I gained like 5 pounds, and I'm like, that's enough. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. So I did. And I made this chicken in the crock pot with ranch dressing, not ranch seasoning, not dressing, some ranch seasoning, some cream cheese, some chicken broth, and seemed like there was something else. I guess that was, and some cheddar cheese. So it was real cheesy, a bunch of cheesy, but no carbs. So I ate that, and then my daughter and her son, they liked it too, so they ate it. You could eat it with noodles if you wanted to. But they like to eat low carb too, so it was good. They ate it. And we still have plenty of it left. But of course, my husband wants a new meal, so I'm going to have to go cook him his fish and rice. Since he's feeling better, I'll do that. He got up out of the bed this afternoon, and he said, let's strip the sheets off the bed. I'm done being sick. And I said, okay. I mean, we both sound sick as heck, but we put clean sheets on the bed and everything. We're ready to stop being sick. So hopefully. It got so cold last night, you guys. We didn't have the heat on in here, and I didn't have that heater on. And I got down to like, I don't know, 28, 27 degrees last night. No heat in this room. And I put the heater on. The kitty was asleep by my legs, and I felt her fur. She was so cold. I tried to put her under the covers with me, but she don't like it. She said no. She'll growl and, make all kinds of sounds, but she won't scratch me or anything. And I put the heat on, and she sat right in front of I put it closer by the bed, and she sat right in front of it. So I'm making sure this room is going to stay warm tonight so that she's not cold. We have so many covers on our bed, it's not cold. We've got a wool blanket and this huge comforter, and I put flannel sheets on the bed today, so we're snug. We're nice and warm. So I hope y'all are staying warm, being careful. I know a lot of people are getting snow and ice and a lot of treacherous weather out there, so you guys please be careful. God bless you all, and thank you for tuning in and listening to me. Please comment down below on anything you would like me to ask questions on, and I look forward to getting some tips from y'all on how to word it. And I do think I'm going to order some different dowsing rods, because I do think these get stuck right here. So yeah, and I tightened all the balls up before we started so that one of them didn't go skittering across the floor when we started. But if you'd like to get a reading with me, if you need a healing session, I love doing healing sessions. I have done them for my husband since he got sick, and he's actually not sick like I was. He's sick different. I know he's got probably the same thing that I have, but it's different with him. Today is my 12th day of being sick. 12 days. And he's only been sick for a couple of days, and he feels like he's already getting well. So hopefully, just sending people healing does help them get well a lot quicker. You can actually send it to the immune system and ask the immune system to start revving up. So you can send healing to those cells. It does work. It really does. For myself, I don't know how. I know I've had pains that I've stopped for myself. Like I had a leg pain, and I did a healing on it, and it stopped. So I know I've helped with pains and things like that, but I haven't really stopped this virus that I have. So that may be more challenging to heal. Anyway, thank y'all for listening, and I appreciate it. If you're new here, please subscribe. Thanks for being with me today. And I look forward to reading all your comments and getting some tips on what y'all think I should be asking questions about, and how I'm, crouching my questions. I really need to work on that, I know, and I'm going to. There's such a glare with my glasses. I changed them from this is bigger glasses, and there's bigger glare, to some smaller ones. These are just readers, but I can see, All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye. Love you so much. Take care. Do something kind for somebody. It'll always come back to you. Bye for now.